Hey, Mel. Excuse me. Hey, girl. So, first, I want to say thank you for letting me tap in because, I love to get a chance to practice and things like that as I, build my skills in this line of work. So, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's always a pleasure and never a bother. This is a huge reading, so I'm going to do my best to record this in one session. However, sometimes my phone gets to tripping during the readings and it might cut off. So I'm going to do what I can to get it all, but it is a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because it is so big. I'm going to go ahead and get started. The reading breaks down like this. You have an oracle message for 2019. That's message from Spirit, advising you kind of on almost like a theme for the year, an overall message for the year. Then I have every month broken down in terms of where you need to focus your energy for every month, starting from January to December. I have your healing insight message, which is overall areas you need to work on healing. And then I did a quick spread with the tarot deck, inquiring about your love life, because I feel like that's heavy on your mind right now, besides what you just need for your overall life. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So your oracle guidance message, when I asked Spirit to give me the message for 2019, I actually got three cards. The first card came from the God of the Arts, and it says, the artist within you is about to emerge. So what Spirit is trying to say is this year is going to be a very artistic and creative year for you, and you really need to focus on your creative endeavors. And by doing this, it's going to create a lot of stability and balance in your life. If you look in through his face, you kind of see that rainbow. Well, for me, that almost always kind of indicates that it's bringing overall balance through all of your chakras. So you will be balanced if you're creative in all areas. It's really going to reignite the fire in your life that's kind of been missing, and tapping into a higher level of consciousness, thought, and your intuition. Intuition is a really big thing for you. So I feel like overall, there's been a heavy disconnect with your intuition. And if we're speaking in terms of relationships, a lot of the issues that you're having in terms of a significant relationship is because you weren't using your intuition. So you're really going to, through creativity, tap back into your intuition, and you need to use your intuition to guide where you need to go in terms of this creativity. Now, me just knowing you, so I'm trying to be objective, but I know you, so I am going to tap into a little about what we talk about and what I know about you. I do know that poetry is a big thing for you right now, and you're overall just a very creative person. So maybe this is like really a good year where you're going to really dive into that aspect of yourself to really start to get your power back. You're going to get your power back by being creative. This card right here is very golden and very solar plexus, and that is where our strength lies, our willpower lies, our ego, just our strength. So you're gonna find that strength again by being creative and doing creative things. Okay, you also got the spirit, the God of spiritual healing. So you definitely need to focus this year on healing. And if we look at this card, we see that the angel has his hands down in like your solar plexus sacral chakra area and the root chakra. So there's like a light shining here at like the solar plexus, here at the sacral, and then down there towards the root chakra. So really doing some work in healing your lower chakras, because when our lower chakras are not balanced, that's where we tend to um, find our negative emotions take over. So our solar plexus rules, like I said, our willpower and our ego. So working on your ego, perhaps this relationship has really damaged your ego, and not in a sense of uh, almost damaging your self worth, and definitely your sacral chakra. Because when you're in a relationship, your sacral chakra is definitely affected. So if your sacral chakra is out of balance, there's a loss of control in emotions, and you definitely need your sacral chakra intact and balanced in order to tap into that creativity. The creativity brings us emotional balance. Our sacral chakra rules creativity, our sexuality, our emotional stability, our sex drive, um, and manifestation. So, and then with our root chakra, that's where um, our ability to be grounded into reality, um, stability in the physical world in terms of finances, home, things like that. So you really need to work on healing these areas of your chakras so that you can really tap back into your intuition. As you can see, it's really heavy in the blue back there, and that's really going to help you again tap into your intuition. Intuition is so key for you this year. So um I feel like, and this rarely comes up when I have this card, so I feel like this is definitely just a you thing, but this angel is male, and I feel like you need to connect with your father, because perhaps not having your father has definitely affected your relationships in terms of the types of relationships you attract. Um, it definitely affects your root chakra, not really feeling like you've had that father figure to protect you, guide you, and show you your worth, your value, how to date, how to love, all those things. So I feel like it could also be saying that your father's around you a lot as well and really guiding you through this period of your life, because he knows, I'm getting goosebumps, so I must be right on. He knows that his absence in your life has drastically affected you. And maybe it's nothing that you've really focused on for the most part, but I feel like right now, because you're in this transformative like period in your life, you're really having to deal with the issues of what not having a father has done to you, and doing some healing. And healing from that situation is going to come through connecting with him. So I'm not a psychic medium, so I do not hear spirits, converse with spirits per se, but I mean, even just right now, I feel like your father tapped in, because like when I started talking about him, my arms just like got all these like tingly feelings. So I feel like he wanted to tap in. But I would even suggest, and I can refer you to somebody who can actually um, allow you to converse with your father, and maybe having a conversation with your father will bring you some healing. But I feel like he's definitely playing a big role in this aspect of your healing. So talk to him, um, and know that he's there. Okay, you're not alone in this healing process. Um, your angel is there. You also got a message from the goddess of knowledge, and it says start to apply what you already know and trust your intuition. So this is telling me that you struggle with some sort of self-doubt in things that you want to do, and you're not following your intuition. So your intuition tells you to do something, and then you counteract that with some sort of self-doubt. And then you talk yourself out of it. So you definitely have the knowledge that you need to take on this creative endeavor, or to take the next step in your life. And this may not just relate to the creative aspects of your life. I feel like this is relating to your overall life. Like, you have all the knowledge. You already know what you need to do. You just need to trust yourself and trust your intuition. And your intuition is really like your roadmap. It's like, trust your intuition and follow your heart. Yeah, I mean, on all these cards right here, there's something on the third eye. Here we have a light. Here we have markings on the third eye. And even on this one, the third eye is definitely marked. So you're really disconnected from your third eye and your intuition. And a lot of it is because of self-doubt. And that could be because of past experiences. If you've made mistakes in the past, we tend to hold on to all this self-doubt. I've been there. And we start to think that we're not making the right decision, but you already know what you need to do. You already have the knowledge and the experience. Now it's time to apply it. So whatever it is, especially as it pertains to your creative endeavors, you need to follow your intuition. And when you get that hunch to do something, you need to go for it. So now I'm going to break down kind of like your theme for every month. So for January 2019, where you need to focus your energy, we got individuality, we got timeout, physical activity, and compassion. So what I'm getting from this is, in terms of individuality, this is an 11. It's a master number, but 1 is also the number of self. I feel like January is it's time for you to tap out and focus on you. It's time for you to focus on your sacral chakra, your emotional stability, and it's really time to focus on who you are. And it's the beginning of the year. January is a 1 vibration. So January is going to really help you do that, because the energy is just collectively, universally, it's already, everyone's going to be in a about themselves kind of mode. So it's a perfect month for you to take a time out. It's like rest. You need to really focus on rest. And okay, so I'm going back to the fact that I know you, and you've been going out a lot, busy, 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 busy. And I feel like you've been doing that a lot to almost keep yourself from having to think about things. And it's not really helping you. So you need to sit down and really focus on your solar plexus and your crown chakra. And that's really getting some like spiritual retreat within yourself taking a time out from people, even possibly going on a short journey by yourself somewhere. No, turn up something that's calm to your spirit and that allows you to think, that allows you to really start to focus on the direction of this year and where you're trying to go, things you're trying to accomplish, especially on a spiritual level, because I feel like you might be spiritually drained right now and you need to like fill that cup up. So it's almost like a fill your cup kind of month. And it's very difficult to keep yourself um, hydrated with self-love if you're constantly giving yourself to others, giving other people your time, giving other people your energy, um, having people in your space. Like, it's just really time for you to tap out and rest and rejuvenate. And I'm saying, like, your crown chakra for January is definitely like the focus. Like, you have 3 purple cards here. And I think that if you tap into some sort of spirituality for January, it's going to help you with the emotional balance. And it's going to help you with that um, that feeling of being alone, which might be hard for you right now. Um, but I feel like that's coming just coming from a lack of having your cup full. And so you really need to focus on your spirituality, God, and connecting your crown chakra, which is definitely going to help you tap into your intuition. And you need to focus on having compassion. And I feel like you need to focus on having compassion for yourself. Having Stop judging yourself, um, and blaming yourself, and have some compassion for you. And 9 is a number of endings, so it's really just needing to end a lot of these issues with self-doubt and your self-criticism and self-judgment and lack of compassion that you have for yourself. You know, it's easy to have compassion for others, and then we turn around and we beat ourselves up for the things that we have going on. So it's really just time to focus on you for January. And that means um, going within and tapping out, because keeping yourself busy to overcome all this is really actually making you more tired, and it's draining you more and more spiritually, it's draining you more and more emotionally, and you're not operating from a cup overfloweth, you're operating from a cup that's dry. So you don't have much to give at this moment in terms of your time, emotions, feelings. um, you just don't have it right now. And you need to stop trying to get blood from a turnip, trying to be there for other people, because it's not even coming from a place of abundance. It's coming from a place of distraction. And it's time to focus on you. So for February, and I know this is like going like so far ahead, but I kind of just wanted to give you an overall like look at your year so you can start to organize your year. Um, After you watch this, I definitely would write this down in terms of like to get yourself organized. So that you can kind of look at this every month instead of having to rewatch the video, or you can just kind of, I'm going to keep this video up for you so you can kind of go back and just don't try to focus so much on the overall reading right now. really take this and look at it bit by bit, okay? So that you're not getting too overwhelmed or trying to focus in too many directions. January, just stay here. Don't worry about all this until you get there, and just go back and kind of, use these videos as a reflective piece, and then a, preparation. So for February, you're needing to focus on parenting. So you may find that in February, this could be a number of things. Because you are a parent, there may be some need to give your child a little more attention for some reason. Um, so after it's almost like a progressive kind of situation. First, the spirit wants you to focus on you. Then it wants you to extend your energy out to your child, because that's your like immediate um family, like your immediate need. So you need to focus on, parenting. But most importantly, I feel like it's also saying that you need to nurture yourself, and you need to parent yourself and provide yourself with some nurturing. Um, so January, February is definitely, you're going to need to focus on your intuition again. And you're going to do this by taking some time to rest, relax, and gain your strength. And you're going to do that by nurturing yourself, nurturing your goals. Okay, taking care of your goals like you take care of your child is also what it could be saying. um just like a plant, we have to treat our dreams and our goals and our aspirations like we do our plants. And our plants don't grow unless we nurture them with water, sunlight, good environment, things like that. So you have to start really nurturing your dreams and your goals and things like that, planting seeds and nurturing those seeds and nurturing those dreams like you do, your plants. Because the only way that your dreams are going to grow healthy, strong, and abundant is if you provide the nurturing, just like our children. Our children aren't going to be successful if we don't nurture and put into them the love, the care, the nurturing, the the power, like the sunlight, because it's solar plexus. We're our children's sunlight. We give them the strength, we give them the power, we build their egos, we do all these things. So you have to do the same thing with your dreams and aspirations. So if it's not related to your child, again, that could be something coming up, where your child just might need a little bit more of your attention. um, then it could be that it's time to really put some efforts, some real efforts, because solar plexus is all about our effort, putting effort into tapping into your intuition and putting effort into nurturing your dreams. Okay, January, you've had time to really, if you do what it's advising and taking a time out to start getting yourself organized and um, focused on what it is that you want to do, February is going to be the time to start nurturing those dreams. And that's putting in more energy and effort on a more kinetic level, um, where you are actually doing things to really start nurturing those dreams, that creativity. So March is all about synchronicity. You need to focus your energy on paying attention to the synchronicities. So come March, you might start to really get signs and synchronicities on where you need to go, what you need to do, and you really need to pay attention to those, because those are coming from, your angels, your guides. Pay attention to nature, numbers, symbols, animals, things that stand out to you. In Pay attention to those. And I'll give this, like, for example. there are times where when my brother, who is one of my like my most dear angels, whenever he wants me to know he's there and everything's okay, there's always a feather in my path. Um, I pay attention to animals. Sometimes, I mean, I've had times where birds have like smacked into the windshield of my car. Cats definitely come around. I pay attention to the numbers that stand out or just like get my attention. And they don't have to be the 444 111. It could be anything. Like, I swear, there's so many times where my birthday comes up in the time and I'm paying attention. And it's like, so when I looked it up, which is June 19th, 619. So 619 will come up on the clock and then it just draws my attention. But when I looked it up, it had a very significant meaning for my life. So when things like that just catch your attention and you're like, why am I paying attention to this? Those are signs and synchronicity. So around March, you really might start to get more of those. And this is why it's so important for you to take the proper rest and nurturing with yourself, because when you're too busy and there's too much noise in your head, too much activity going on around you, your intuition is blocked. And so with all these things you've been doing to keep yourself busy and things like that, you need to learn to embrace silence. So I know you like to listen to music, but there's even times where you just need to have it quiet with nothing, no music, no nothing, because sometimes even the noise around us can really block that that intuition and things, coming about. Like, embrace the quiet. I know it might seem like, it's not as relaxing as listening to music, but I feel like you have too much noise in your head. You're too busy, too active, and it's time to sit still because it's disconnecting you from your higher self. April is definitely a time where you're going to need to take a little more leadership in your life and start to really put yourself out there. So I know that poetry is something that you're really wanting to do, getting on stage and doing that. You might find that in April, it might be a good time for you to start doing that, but like really taking leadership and taking charge in what you want to do. I feel like this isn't just pertaining to your goals and things. I also feel like this is pertaining to relationships. Um, like, it's really time for you to start taking in leadership in your emotional connections, your relationships with others, partnerships. And again, I'm trying to be objective, but because I know you, I'm going to say that this might be a time where you find that you're going to need to really start standing up to to Jesse, and really setting those boundaries that we talk about, and really taking a lead in that situation and not allowing him to call the shots or have any form of control. Excuse me. My throat chakra popping, girl. It's spirit talking. So I feel like it's really time for you to get that like emotional control and boundaries. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. And really just taking a leadership role in your relationships. And I say that it's a lot with relationships because we have the sacral chakra here, and a lot of that is our sacral chakra rules, where our root chakra rules our ability to connect with like our immediate family, those that we grew up with, parents, things like that. Our sacral chakra is where we start to where we learn how to connect with others outside of our family, friendships, relationships, things like that. That's where our sacral chakra really controls and rules the energy that we are able to manifest and connect with others. So it's time for you to really start taking a leadership role into setting boundaries, um, creating those emotional connections. And we have here in the middle heart chakra. So I definitely feel like um, anything that you love um, in your love life, possibly, um, you just need to take a leadership role. And this is going to come through the self-love. If you're doing the work and working on the rest, relaxation, pouring back into your cup, filling up your cup, you're going to be strong enough to really set those boundaries. But when you're feeling powerless, it's definitely hard to set boundaries. It's definitely hard to um, keep that emotional balance. But you're going to find that when you do that, you're going to have an abundance of love around you and within you. And because you're going to be so solid on the love that you have within you, it's going to be really easy for you to start to take a lead role in the situation and not and stop going with the flow. Just to keep the peace. Because just keeping the peace is not giving you peace. It's giving it's giving the other person peace, but it's not bringing you any peace. And just because I know you, so I'm saying this. You do a lot to try to keep the peace for Mayana, but you're suffering as a result of that, because it's making you allow Jesse to stay too close. And I'm not just saying that because you're my friend. I'm saying that because it's real. Hold on. So you really need to focus on those boundaries and stop keeping the peace. Focus on your peace. All right. So May, where you need to focus your energy is on relationship change. So I feel like these two go hand in hand. The moment you start to take leadership, take lead role, you're gonna notice the relationship change. And I'm not saying that it's going to change in terms of the relationship between you and Jesse. I feel like you're going to notice a relationship change with yourself first and foremost. The moment you start to change your relationship, you take leadership, you're going to really change the relationship you have with yourself. And the moment you change the relationship you have with yourself, it's going to give you the strength to change the relationships that you attract, change the relationships that you're currently in. And this can pertain to anybody. So if you have people around you that are that really have boundary issues, this could be family, friends, lovers. The moment you start to take leadership and create those boundaries, create that space, and do those types of things, you're going to notice that relationships around you change. And sometimes this could mean that people that you once had in your life have to go. And if that happens, you have to let them, because right now, the only people you need in your life are those that truly love you. Not people who just need you, want to use you, your time, your resources, things like that. It's really people that love you. And then again, it's in terms of your love life, it's going to really help you to attract a partner who loves you as much as you love you. And that's the major. So it's really about you. This year really is about you, starting with self. And if we look back here to these cards, I'm not really seeing like anyone else being of significant importance other than you. It's you, and your angels, your angel. Okay, so it's really just about you. All right, so June, you may notice, is a little bit busy. 5 is the number of activity. So it's saying to focus your energy on change. And when this card comes up, there's always a recommendation to get out and try new things, try new places, try new foods, meeting new people. And so again, it's kind of like an order. The moment you take leadership in your relationships, you're going to notice relationship changes, and you start to change the relationship with you, and you start to change the things that you do, the places you go, the type of people you entertain. It's like this is where you're going to start to notice that your vibration is changing. I just think like that just came to me. Like your vibration's going to change by June if you're doing the work and really focusing um during the winter, because this is kind of like winter, spring, kind of by summer, you're going to have a complete vibrational change, and you're going to start to want to do new things. You're going to start to meet new types of people. You're going to start going to new places, because to be honest, um though it's fun and things like that, and I'm not trying to sound like a hater, Mel, I'm not, that's not me. I'm just keeping it 100. When you going to the club, going to things like that, that's really like low vibrational environments. So it doesn't really help your spirit. It may distract you for the moment, but it does not fill your cup. It does not fill your spirit. And you need to really be in places right now that fill your spiritual cup. So really start to change the types of places. You'll notice in June, you know, it's very active. 5 is an active number, so you might be very busy during the month of June, which is perfect because it's summer and you've hibernated, you've done the work. Now it's time to go out and start to test these um, newness, this new vibration. It's time to test this new vibration that you're going to be in if you're really focused on doing the work, because this is where you're going to be able to um, really see how this change and this healing and this work is starting to manifest different experiences for you. All right, July is you need to focus your energy on communication and healing. So what I'm getting from this is if you haven't put yourself out there during the winter, springtime in terms of your artistry, I say by July, you're definitely going to do that, because 3 is a number of communication, but it's communication on a higher scale. So this is like telling your story. This is like uh, telling your story and public speaking. This is the card that comes up when it's time to engage in public speaking, um, and just really telling your story. And in doing so, you're going to be doing some healing through this, and you're going to help other people with healing. And I think it's crazy because I think when you read your poem to me, I talked about this, about how telling that story in that poem is healing. I think, I swear I remember saying that to you. So it's crazy that this come up. I swear I can't make this stuff up. But I feel like if by July, you're definitely going to be in the space, and it could be why, because you're going to be really, you're in a new vibration, you're ready to try something new, which is putting yourself out there, getting over that self-doubt. You'll be over that self-doubt, you'll be over that self-judgment, and you're going to be ready to get up and master, because 33 is a master number. You're going to be, excuse me, ready to master your communication and telling your story and healing at the same time. So getting up there and speaking your poetry, um, whatever creativity. I don't want to box you into just poetry, because you're super creative, so you could have so many things going on. But I feel like it's definitely has to do with more of a speaking platform kind of deal. So that's why I'm leaning towards poetry. But it's definitely going to be healing for you. Okay? And it's definitely, again, this creativity, this putting yourself out there is definitely going to help you use your intuition. It's going to help you really start to see that, okay, I followed my intuition and I put myself out there, and it's brought me so much healing. It's like doubled, the energy's gonna like double. It's gonna double in healing power, 33 to 66, it's gonna double in healing power. So you're definitely going to be helping other people, not just yourself. Telling your story is going to help other people as well. So it's definitely, 6 is a number of service and responsibility. So you're really going to be mastering that responsibility to serve others through telling your story and offering your perspective on life and the things that you've been through, the hurt, the pain, the gain, the losses, and everything. You're going to really inspire and help other people during the process. All right. So in um, August, you need to focus your energy on teaching and learning. And so I feel like this is like going to be a time where you're going to be finding opportunities, meeting people that are going to teach you things, teach you new perspectives, new ways of thinking, new spiritual practices, and people will also be learning things from you. And teaching and learning is never disconnected from each other. If you dub yourself a teacher, know you'll always be learning. If you're constantly learning, know